So we're recording now for the Dirty Sheets podcast, but we are about to go on to the Informer show. But people get a little bit of a bonus on the podcast end, just so you can go there, you know. It's a shame, Billy. You're not going to be at this wedding in about 2 weeks. Everyone's going to be there. The party of the century, babe. Party of the century. I still can't believe Umar's coming. It's crazy to me.
Neither can I. Like, have you actually seen his ticket and everything?
No, but he's got everything booked, and he's all into it. He knows where, I'm going to this hotel, this and that. Okay. So, I have a gift basket in his hotel room and everything. But he's going to go explore.
You've never actually met before?
Never met face to face, no. No. So I go, well, he gets to be the token black at the wedding. That's no. There's going to be a couple of blacks at the wedding. So he gets to get in there. But it's at the table for him. It's Nick, his wife, Umar, and like a guy I play golf with and his wife. That's the only people at that table. So that's a nice roomy table. You don't have to sit with, everybody you don't know. So I was like, oh, good. I make sure to put Nick and him together.
Is that where I would have been?
Oh, of course. I put everybody who knows each other together. I've tried my best not to have people who don't know, try to mix and match everybody. And shit. It's like all my people are where they know everybody and family, shit like that, And then her side has all that.
There's no way I would have missed it had it not been for this fucking vaccine thing.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't have missed it like for any financial reason or anything like that. I mean, I would have gone Mania too. Like, there's no way I would miss it either. Like, it's fucking bullshit. This is happening.
Well, by next year, everything's going to be fucking normal again. So, I mean, like you see the restrictions are all dropped down now. So,
But when are they just going to turn around and go, yeah, we're not checking for the fucking vaccine?
I think it's around the corner. There's no way by the end of the year it's still you can't come into the country because.
What you mean after Pfizer announced that fucking the vaccine is actually fucked and it's got fucking 1 million side effects and it works on 13% of people.
And then there you go. You're free to go wherever you like. I'm like, all right. Well, what's funny is because I'm going to Hawaii, so like before it was you had to like have a test before you got on that plane to go to Hawaii. Like they were crazy strict because I go, well, if you do keep everyone out who has it, it's an island. It's not coming in. It'll never be there. And now it's just normal. So I'm just thrilled that like there's no mask on a plane, which I'm fucking thrilled by. But now they starting with, things are going up again. I go, let's hurry up before this fucking have to wear a mask again in the store.
Well, if it goes up again, they can't do the same fucking shit they did before because it didn't work. So.
I don't think so either. I think they've got past the point of no return where they said no masks again because they've done it once. And I think now it'll be, no, that's fuck it. It's up to everybody else. If you don't want to, you don't have to. The end, whatever. And we're done with this. I mean, you haven't seen it much in sports. Only recently, the Giants all caught it. Like 5 guys. And I'm like, I haven't seen shit in sports in fucking long time where people are sick.
Because the sports people would just say it's a cult. Like,
yeah, fuck it. Push on, right? Yeah, just they ignore it like a concussion, just fucking go through. But I don't know. I guess they stopped them on the Giants, which like they barely had enough guys. They were bringing in people that nobody ever heard of to do shit. So, so when we start this, I wanted to say, oh, if you guys could only have heard what Billy told me, some good stories, but you don't get to hear. Can I say that in the beginning? Because we're not going to say anything about it.
They won't hear them anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no paywall like for these stories. So
yeah, I just like to torture. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to start this thing on your side?
Yeah, I sent you the notes. So.
Oh shit. Okay, let me see. Let me see what these are.
That 15% is supposed to be 25, by the way. So
okay, well, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna give a bullet point, and you're gonna go on about it. Let's see, video games.
This will be quick. Like, it looks like a lot of stuff, but actually, like, it's almost one story in a sense. It's almost like one story. It's all finances. So,
Do you want to do this first and then do the pay-per-view predictions?
Yeah, you've gone crackling.
Am I?
You've gone.
Everything's coming through nicely on this side.
Oh.
You're not crackled or anything.
Let me check how many bars I have. I've got full bars for Wi-Fi. Okay.
All right. Hit it and we'll go.
Still hearing. It's like in the mic's like fuzzy. I don't know.
Is it still shitty? Test.
It's not shitty. It's like just a little bit fuzzy.
It's odd because over here everything's good. Everything's recording on your podcast end over here. Here, I'll stop it and you could listen to it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So it sounded great here. So on at least that podcast will be perfect. All right. Okay, so hit record.
1 second.
Yeah.
I'm just posting out a bet quickly because I can see like doing this show and then doing the next show will fucking overrun somehow.
Yeah.
Fuck, are they favorites now to win?
Who's that?
Like the Mavericks tonight.
Put all your money on Golden State to win the whole thing.
Why? Is that what you think?
I think it's them and the Heat.
Well, they're the 1 seeds, aren't they?
Golden State isn't. No,
it's Phoenix.
Heat,
yeah, but I don't think they'll beat. I don't think they'll beat Phoenix. Do you?
Really? I do. Golden State's scary, man. It's just Curry made a deal with the devil. I'm sure of it. He does weird shit, man. I'm like, if there is something like that, I think he did it. That fucker throws balls from the fucking stands and he fucking makes them and shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? That's some sorcery shit.
I'm done. Okay, so the Matt Riddle, Brock Lesnar story. Not Matt Riddle, Brock Lesnar story.
The breakup stories.
No, the Elimination Chamber story.
Okay.
For like Brock at the Chamber and all that. It's not on here. We'll keep that for next week.
Okay, keep it.
Nah, because Brock Lesnar's off TV and
yeah. I'm just going by what you have here. So
yeah. So let's do that. Let's just and then pay-per-view preview afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll push record.
Yep. What's happening, guys? It's the Wrestling Informer. I'm Cav. All of my nonsense is at Lingus Mafia. Wherever you get your podcast, just type in Lingus Mafia. I am with your number one source for all your pro wrestling needs. And he has some stories for us because if you checked out his Twitter at K100 Informer, you'd have seen that he was rubbing elbows. And there are some stories he can't tell because when you're a normal human being, which, believe it or not, Billy's a normal human being to a point, but when you have friendships with people, there's certain things you can't say and you keep in confidence. But there are a few stories that he can tell that are easy, and we can talk to him about that, as well as multiple things in the news, and then we will get to the WrestleMania Backlash preview. But that's Billy Body.
Okay. I'll run through those, like, a few stories first from last week. So I didn't do the show last week. I jumped on and did Conan's show. Informer I didn't do because I was at the WWE hotel for 3 days. So they were there for 2, I was there for 3. And one thing I'll start by saying, because everybody wants dirt and stuff. Everybody wants like, oh, who did this and who did that and who's a bitch and who's a piece of shit. And I'll tell you one of those stories, but even that doesn't make someone a piece of shit. For me, it's one of the funniest stories of the weekend. But I will say this: for meeting soccer players this season, like people have seen my son's photos with Ronaldo and Messi and all the people that we met. We did that to compensate for the fact that we're frequent travelers, and I've not been able to travel this year. Missing Cav's wedding, missed WrestleMania 38. I'm not going to get vaccinated. We're seeing that the unvaccinated are pretty much correct about everything at this point. But yeah, I mean, just as long as that, when that realization kicks in, I'm gonna wait it out. So, so yeah, so I tried to make it up by doing different things. So we went to a lot of soccer games, and we met a lot of soccer players. Like, we've done the wrestling thing before. It circles in, like, you know, when the roster gets fresh enough, like, you're not gonna like stay in a hotel and whatnot to, you know, I go to the hotel always to meet the people that I know. But in terms of like staying there for a couple of days of Austin, I feel like this is a fresh enough roster. There's a handful of top people that he hadn't met before this time around.
How far away is it from where you live?
The hotel?
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Okay, so you're in the same town.
Yeah, I'm in Canary Wharf. They're in Canary Wharf. So what I was saying was, like, yeah, we try to meet these soccer players and meet these other people, and the way that wrestlers conduct themselves compared to soccer players and other celebrities. Now, you could say it's down to training. Like, this could be some things that come through NXT or Vince McMahon, or just a general system where they're trained to be this way with people. But some of that you can't teach. Some people just don't have it in them. Like, these guys, for the vast majority of them, 100% have it in them. Like, they go above and beyond. Like, I've got a video where Randy Orton was very different 17 years ago when I met him 17 years ago, where he wouldn't do an autograph. He said, nobody's getting a picture or an autograph. Only one person's getting it, and that's the person that gives me a cigarette. And now he's like, he met with everybody in a hotel, and him, Matt Riddle too. And they also went out with everybody outside the hotel that couldn't afford to stay in there. They understood that there were people outside who'd been there all day that didn't have the money to stay in the hotel, and went and signed all their autographs. And the way they did it, like, Orton and Riddle knew that they wanted pictures together, so they did a picture together. Randy Orton signing my son's figure, and he's going, hey, he goes, hey, make sure you let this dry, okay? I'm going to put it over here. Like, don't touch it and all this. It's like...
Yeah, like Razor kind of, right?
Geez, like, you give a fuck about... Yeah, when I said that about Scott Hall before, like, he cared like that. The kid had the figure and it was intact, and
I think he appreciates things a lot more now. When you're older age, you're like, okay, you know, you appreciate what you have instead of being that young, you know, F everything.
Yeah, and from the interactions with him, like Roman downstairs, like, first when I was going up to him, he seemed like he was going to be a bit standoffish. But as soon as I said, hey, when you're done, do you mind taking a photo with my kid? He went, when I'm done? I went, yeah. He goes, absolutely, when I'm done. Like, so...
Yeah. You got to know how to talk to a human being, right? Yeah.
So, like, and the thing is, funny story with that is that he trained. I thought maybe, you know, he just got in there. And I'm doing like 45 minutes on weights is what I do usually. Yeah. Because I didn't want to get sweaty. I didn't want to shower, have like a proper shower again. I wanted to have a quick shower before the show. I don't want to get like sweat in my hair or anything. So, like, I just wanted to do like weights. So I had to train as long as he trained, because I didn't want to. There's a part of me, like, when you say I'm just a normal guy, but like, I don't want to be that other guy who's outside the gym waiting for Roman. Yeah. So this was a real moment that occurred. Like, I went into the gym and he was actually training. I was actually training.
Looking for him.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for him. I actually do train at that time in the morning. I got there to get my training out.
What time was this?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. That's pretty late.
No,
I guess they're out at night, so yeah, that's normal.
Well, so what happened is that I'll talk about this too. Their schedule is brutal, and for them to be as nice as they are to people, they got in from Newcastle at 4:30 a.m. They finished the show at 10:30 p.m. Got on a coach for 6 hours, went to bed at about 5 in the morning, right, and then got up and then did their media and went to the show. So for them to be amicable, even remotely amicable, let alone having conversations with you and whatnot, is crazy. Roman didn't go on that show, so he came in that morning and went straight to the gym. So he came in about the same time as me and did exactly the same thing as me. So the funny part is that I'm trying not to be the guy waiting outside the gym, because I don't want to be that guy. It's okay for my kid to be out there. But I was legitimately training, so I trained. But he legitimately trained for an hour and a half or over that. I trained for 45 minutes, and afterwards I'm training in like pain because I'm now training at the same amount that he's training. And to be honest, like, he was doing a lot of like toning stuff. Like, he was doing single cables, like for, 20, like trying to like tone up. I went all in and did my usual, like, weight. I did like 32 and a half each side for like my proper chest press, 4 sets. That kills my chest. I then finish it with like a chest incline and whatever. So I did my proper 45 minutes, but he's not leaving. So I'm now doing the other 45 minutes when I'm completely done. So I'm doing chest, triceps, and then I decided to do my back. So like, because it's the only part that can sustain more of a workout at this point. So I had to work for that.
You're like, fuck legs.
Yeah, I had to work for that but my kids started to work for that. But when he came out, it wasn't like 2 minutes. It was like 10 minutes. And like,
does he go to find you? Or are you like by that entrance area so he has to leave and pass you by?
It's a hotel gym.
Okay, so but you still like, there's the entrance to come out the doors of the hotel gym, right? Like when you're leaving. So, but does he like, I mean, I imagine it's a small gym though anyway, where you could see all the way across it right next to you.
He made eye contact and just was like that. Like, so he was saying he was going.
Okay.
So
you're like this, you're like the girl looking to the side.
No, not really. Because what we spoke during the thing, like it was like, oh, you done with this, or like, you done with that, whatever. Like at one point, like I said to Austin, "Oh, get me a water," because like the outside's a fountain, and he bought in 2 waters, like one for me, one for Roman.
Oh.
Like so, like the kids
lube that up. The kid learns early.
Yeah, he's clever like that.
There you go, Mr. Reigns. Is he wearing his mask the whole time?
When he trained, yeah. But
yeah.
not for the fight.
I saw him when he was signing and he had the mask on, so I was assuming for the photo he took it off, and then, I mean, he's got to be careful, obviously, we know, He's got to be more careful than everybody else. Sure.
So the interaction is then not like this quick sign photo, like fake smile kind of thing. It's like he talks to us like properly. I said to him like, my son's actually met Ronaldo this year. And I actually said to him that this is the best, most famous person you'll meet, like maybe ever. And he goes, I'd rather meet Roman. And then Roman just laughed. He goes, we kids got like good taste. He goes, where do you want? He goes, where do you want me on the belt? Like, where do you want me here? He goes, oh, down there. He goes, do you want me to sign on the back? I was like, no, I'm just gonna hang it up. He goes, all right, I have to squeeze it in here. He goes, you've messed it up with all these guys. He goes, who is this? And we go like AJ, Orton, and Drew. He goes, because you filled it up with chumps, like says to Austin.
Yeah.
So like he's doing like half character, like
sure.
With me, he's like talking, and he goes like, oh, so where are you from? Did you go to the show last night? I said, no, it's too far. He's like, oh, it's 6 hours, yeah, and all this shit. And then I start talking about like, I say like some of the sucky stuff where I say like, oh, I'm enjoying the run. I said I'm not like, and it's like, and this is coming from someone. I said I watched for like 31 years, so yeah. I think the last time I enjoyed a heel run so much was when The Rock was doing his Hollywood stuff. I said it's honestly like the best stuff. I said like some weeks, at times I've been a lot. I said at times like I admit like I've been a lot more interested overall. I said, but like for your 20 minutes a week, I said I never miss SmackDown.
Yeah.
So thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. All this like so it was like this is just some of the shit, but like some of it he was asking.
It's genuinely talking as a normal person, saying I appreciate your work because it's been really good.
Yeah, I think it's like bullshit when you go, you're my favorite. Oh, you're my favorite.
Yeah.
You're my favorite.
Like, oh my God, can I touch you?
Yeah, it's like I saw a video of this girl crying that this Man United player was leaving, and he's played like fucking 4 games for us this season. I saw it's like he's like the cover for Ronaldo, so he never plays.
Don't ever date her.
Yeah, she's too young for me actually. Yeah, so that was the interaction. But as I said, interactions like across the board. Obviously, like we know Drew, but like interactions across the board. Like I helped these guys out in the evening because they ordered some drinks and they needed some mixers, which people forgot. And I had free access because I was on the premium floor because I thought initially when I booked the hotel, that's where the likes of Ronda and Roman were being. So I bought them down just some mixers that were free to me, and they were like so happy about it, and so everybody's like really nice. So yeah, like you can talk. Everybody wants the shit, but to be honest with you, like maybe it's the comparison as well to meeting the soccer players, particularly Randy Orton, Riddle, Drew, Naomi, and Roman Reigns, like they're all like incredible like interactions. So,
so you would say soccer players are way more dicky?
I'd say soccer players are way more like pandered to, and therefore out of touch with reality. They would never get a coach for 6 hours at 4:30. In fact, I know the Man United players are traveling to Brighton for the game tomorrow. They traveled today. They got a flight. Instead of getting a 4-hour coach, they got a flight from Manchester to there, and they get
like a half-hour flight.
Yeah, so they park their cars, and then they get on a coach that takes them to the runway.
Wow.
And then they get on the plane, and then when that plane lands, another coach is on the runway.
Jeez, I'd rather fly. I'd rather drive there. I don't need the aggravation of flying.
Yeah, so it's just stuff like that in terms of I think there's part of that, but also I believe there's some training, and also I believe that it's just something that I think they're just more happy to be. It's weird. I think it's
they're
more
appreciative more.
Yeah, they're just more appreciative of it. It was just chalk and cheese with the interaction side of things. Now,
anyone rub you the wrong way?
The exception to this, which I thought was actually brilliant, was
I asked that like I don't know. Go ahead.
Ronda Rousey.
Oh, I don't know. Then go ahead.
What did you think I was going to say?
I'm thinking of a story that we talked about earlier, but you told me you had a Ronda thing that you didn't want to tell me earlier because you wanted to say it on the air. So okay, I'm dying to hear.
Yeah, that other that's a nobody. Like fuck that guy. So
you'll have to listen to the Lingus Mafia podcast to hear it.
Oh, you can't tell that story.
I know. Listen, that's why I winked at you. I try to get people to come over to here.
All right. Yeah, no.
I'm going to tell the whole thing on Lingus Mafia podcast.
No, that
you know I'm not going to. Let me do my bit, for God's sake. Come over. I'm going to tell everything.
You can speak about it with at the wedding to a couple of people, like Fausti and Umar.
Well, I'll call them and talk to, Umar, I'm not going to call to tell him this, but Fausti I'll call to tell. But yeah, I won't tell it on the show.
It fucking sucks to like not be there. Like with it, like now I'm thinking of
all the guys.
The weird combination of people. It's weird. Like I tell you honestly,
and we're going to be podcasting. It's going to be on patreon.com/Lingus Mafia, video and audio during the wedding. The podcast will be on, and we will be stopping by the table. My guys are going to be on the table constantly doing the podcast. I will pop out here and there because I'll get in trouble otherwise.
Oh, we got to do this show for 10 minutes. Like we got to come on here for 10 minutes and do this.
We probably could. I mean, I hold my phone up and we could, besides reception up in the boonies, but yeah, we can give it a shot. I mean, you know what though? You can call in and you could be on the podcast part. I don't even need to be there. So there you go.
No, and that's the thing. Like if the restrictions are lifted tomorrow, then I'll book a flight the day after. Like I'll still come. Like, but it's not likely. So getting back to my point, Ronda Rousey. This now, Austin's trained in a certain way to not act, to do. The thing with Roman.
Got a lovely picture with her I saw.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like he knows to always be nice to people, complimentary, whatnot. But he also knows things not to do, which is don't run after people. And don't like do what he did, which was try to get in the lift with Ronda Rousey. So he ran after her when he saw her coming through with her baby. So she didn't come with Travis Brown and to this trip. She came with her mum with the baby.
I saw that carriage pushed to the side. I realized like it's cut out of the picture, but you see that it's the carriage that she's got like kind of out of the picture to take a pose with him. This is all at K100 Informer on Twitter. You can see it.
So I'm sitting there with these having my meal at the hotel, and these fucking marks have like broken into the hotel. Like they're not staying there, and they're gonna probably see
January 6th.
Yeah, and they're gonna see this too because they watched the show. But like, guys, fucking come on! Like, at least try and look like you're staying in a hotel. They're there with Tesco's bags, which is a cheap supermarket over here. They're with Tesco's bags, eating their own fucking sandwiches, like in the fucking hotel. It's like if you want to pretend, like I'm paying like fucking $250 a night. So if you want to pretend you're here, like order a fucking drink, order a meal. Like you do not have. The meals are expensive, I understand, but I'm paying $250 plus I'm paying like £20 a meal here. right?
Mm-hmm.
At least pretend they're there with their carrier bag and like eating their own fucking food, talking to me. Like, I'm just like, fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah.
And my kid just sprints off. I was like, where's he gone? And the guy's like, oh, he saw Ronda. I was like, seriously? And the guys, and we'd just been sitting there going, we saw Ronda walking a kid. They said they saw Ronda walking, taking a kid for a walk with her mum. They didn't approach her because she shut them all down at Mania, right?
Yeah.
So they just left her alone. So Austin's now, I'm having like nightmares about what's going to happen in that. As I look around, where's he gone? He's actually disappeared in the lift with her. So I'm thinking, what's going on in there? I'm thinking she's cutting a fucking promo on him. I got fucking
She's got him in an arm bar.
Yeah, I mean, though your parents have any manners, like all this shit.
Yeah.
But like, so what ends up happening?
Does he go? Do you know my father is asking if he has manners?
He comes off the lift and elevator, if you call it. He has the autograph of Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
I was like, she signed it. She was like, yeah. She went, oh, she asked me my name. Like, it says Ronda Rousey one side and it says Austin on the other. But as a signature, it's like some weird shit. Like it says Austin on one side and Ronda Rousey on the other. So I said, oh, did you get a photo? She went, she said she couldn't do a photo. She said not right now because the baby's crying. But she said 100% get it later. And she said as she left, her mum said, Austin, I'll 100%, I'll make sure that she does it later. Later on, he ran into Ronda's mum again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bearing in mind that interaction was all, oh, hey, Austin, like, no worries. He goes, thanks, Ronda, no worries, buddy, all this stuff. So it was all fine. Yeah. So later he runs into her mum, and her mum says, and I'm there with him at this point, and she goes, hey, Austin. She went, hey, is this your dad? I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, pleased to meet you. I'm Anne Marie, or whatever her name was. Anna Marie. And she goes, I'm going to make sure that you still get that photo of Ronda later when we see you. Like, I'm going to make sure that you get that photo.
That's nice.
And she's like, okay. He's like, thank you. She's like, you're welcome. So Ronda comes through the lobby near showtime, right? Mm-hmm. She's still with the baby. So all these people are like, Ronda, come in a picture. She's like, no, I haven't got time. So she goes, oh, wait, Ronda. She goes, there's Austin. She goes, oh, hey, Austin, you want to come over and have a picture?
Wow.
And he's like, yeah. So I take the picture. And then the guy goes, Ronda, can we? She goes, no, sorry. He goes, oh, well, we've been waiting here for ages too. She was like, yeah, sorry, dude, but I don't owe you anything.
She ain't take shit.
and she was like, yeah, sorry, dude, but and she like did it in such a way. She went, yeah, sorry, dude, but I don't owe you anything. Like turned her head like that.
That's the way. Yeah, she does that in the rings too. Yeah.
And it was like, and I was like laughing inside. I don't owe you
shit. Yeah.
And it was like, but I knew that was 100% not the first time that she'd said that. Like because it was so like, and they just said like, you know,
she's boundedly hounded like crazy, and this is what now happens where it's like, what the fuck do I owe you?
Yeah. So let me. I don't want to leave the camera empty and go and get a toy, but I did send a picture to a couple of people. This is what I was.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's the.
So what that side is Ronda, and the other side is that says Austin.
Huh. That is odd. That is bizarre. I wonder if she's like, well, now you can't go sell it. I don't know.
Yeah. I believe that's like what it is for. But
that's why they do it to protect it. Yeah.
So even that. So that's the one person who acted in a different way. But at the same time, we got what we wanted. So it was hilarious to us. And afterwards, like I walked past her on another lift. I was like, oh, thanks for that. Thanks for the photo, Austin. She's like, oh, you're welcome. She went, so, and then her mum went again. She went, oh, this is his dad. She's like, oh, hi. She's like, oh, she goes, oh, hi. Where are you from? And all this stuff. Yeah. Like, no, she was like, oh, from London. She's like, no, where are you from? Like originally, like she goes, what's his mother and what are you? So like, she wanted to like understand how.
What are you? You swarthy looking.
Yeah, you make this like little fucking.
You're not a white. What are you?
You're a white. You're not a white, but he looks like a white.
The kid looked white. That's why I signed for him. But what are you?
Right.
That's great. So let's get into some news. Billy will have more stories on the next show. Plus, there's some other news.
No. I think the rest of the stories I'll keep to myself, I think.
Okay, well, that's how to make people watch the show, Billy. But just go along with me next time.
Actually, yeah, I can give you one or two more.
Perfect.
I I can tell you, like,
I'll get him one of these shows. I'll get him to tell you who's a dickhead that he told me. That'll come up on one of these shows. He'll have to admit that. He won't be able to keep it in. You know damn well. So tell me about something about AEW putting out false information about their Forbidden Door show.
Okay, so there's a strategy put out there by Eddie Hearn, boxing promoter, who there's a law, or it's called, like, basically on fair, it's what's considered fair trade, and you can't sell tickets for extortionate prices without justification. Now, Eddie Hearn obviously would like to sell tickets to certain boxing matches for, you know, £5,000-6,000 ringside or whatever. And that's sometimes what they do end up going for. When you turn around, when you hear people saying, oh, I paid like 10 grand for a ringside seat or whatever, that cannot be legally the face value, because there is like a fair trade thing in place. So what he does is he often uses StubHub to buy up a lot of his own tickets. This is what AEW did this week, with a combination of purchasing their own tickets and also not releasing genuinely as many pre-sales as they said. So they claimed that they had sold, I believe, 11,000 out of 16,000 for pre-sale. I don't actually have the exact number. What I have is a percentage. I know that they legitimately sold 25% of their tickets via pre-sale. They held back 25% to mark up and make a profit on.
Jeez.
And then, oh shit, the phone I'm using here
is the one with the information.
It's the one with the information on that particular subject. So, what I'll say is, I'll hold on. I'll go to my photo stream. There's a thing on the phone called Photo Stream.
Mm-hmm.
Have all the
so the people are unaware that the pre-sale was as low as 15%.
25%.
25. Sorry.
25%. So also, they have a percentage of tickets held back for the AEW Super VIP experience, which is not sold out, which is one ringside ticket for the first 3 rows, pose with the World Championship belt, have your photo taken by a professional photographer, complimentary appetizers, cash bar with 2 drinks, one commemorative merchandise item, one commemorative VIP ticket and laminate, one AEW event poster, early entry with merchandise shopping, on-site event host.
You got a lot of stuff. If you're a big AEW crazy person, then you get a lot of stuff for it.
Yeah, so this is another percentage of the tickets that have been held back. So in terms of them almost plugging a sellout, yeah, you sold out your pre-sale, but you didn't put out as many pre-sales as you said you did. You bought loads of your own tickets so you can make more money of them at the markup closer to the event. And also, you held loads of tickets back for your VIP packages. So, yeah, that's AEW in terms of that event. In general, this company is not doing well financially. The video game is in a huge hole already. They're set to lose $80 million on this video game.
Is this game out?
No, it's not out. There's stills and things out for it. But, like, so far, they've spent money which they won't make back. Apparently, the idea is to make money to break even over the course of, like, 5 video games because they've already created the oh, God, someone was telling me, and I'm not into video games. They've created their own system, I think is the way to say it.
Their own platform, database platform?
Yeah. Their own machine.
Server.
No, not server.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Let me get it off. Let me go through where I'm going to go to the actual guy. Where are we? Created from scratch. No, that's this guy only told me he created from scratch.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay, so yeah, so I forget what the correct terminology is. Like some gamer will say in the comments, but they wanted to essentially build it from scratch. So that has so far cost them $80 million.
Their own engine.
That's
there
it.
There you go, baby.
How did you work that out?
When you were saying make their own thing, it's the engine. I know about games a little bit. As I'm breaking out my old school stuff. Look at this game I was playing the other day, for God's sake. Sports Talk Football 93. I broke out the old Genesis, and they're horrible. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they wanted to create their own engine. So the idea is that they'll try and make money on the fifth game if there's any interest. So there's a lot of pressure on this game. So far, it doesn't look good. There's arguments with people there. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks were seen as the gamers who were like right on board with this idea of creating it from scratch. Sure. So essentially, like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega have cost Tony Khan $80 million for this game. So it looks like a complete waste of money. This could have been done for under $10 million, and it's been done this way. They're already losing money on their figures. They're losing millions on their action figures. The sales are dead. This is because nobody wanted to make AEW figures. Jeremy Padua, I think that's his name, who made the WWE Jax action figures, did a deal with AEW where they said that they would make the figures, but AEW would upfront the costs, and then AEW would get their costs back, and then they would profit share after that. So there is no profit share. All there is the costs that AEW are paying to make toys. Now, they did well at the beginning. Obviously, Wave 1 made a profit, but now they're not selling at all. So my understanding is they're relying on the first ever CM Punk figure to pull them out of the debt for these figures. They're ordering 75,000 units, which is 45,000 more figures than any other figure previously made.
Would you get that one?
What?
Would you get that one?
Yeah, I would. The goal is to pull in $1.875 million, $1.875 million, which will get them close to the break-even point. So that means selling all 75,000 figures at $25. That's just revenue. They would pretty much be close to breaking even on that figure alone, but it needs to sell. Moving this on to WWE action figures are also selling poorly over the last 2 quarters. This is largely down to the fact, and Mattel are furious about this, that a lot of the figures, nearly half that have been released, are not people that are with the company anymore. So the people that are buying them are mainly people that are getting them on the cheap, that are trying to run conventions. So you're selling Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Bray Wyatt figures for about $2-3 to people that have booked Bray Wyatt, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett at conventions, and then they can get the figures inside and sell them for $200 for Bray's, and $70 for Scarlett's, and Karrion Kross's. So these are the kind of people that are buying it. People are not buying those figures. However, the difference between WWE and AEW is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Uh-oh, I can't hear anything from you. Oh, he muted his microphone. That's why.
Why did that mute?
I don't know. Maybe it's, you know what? It probably went on your video thing at the same time, right? It rang on what you were talking to.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why, because I was like, hey, man, I can't hear anymore. I paused the podcast for a second, but yeah, Billy got a phone call. So I said, Husey, you get to cut out that whole entire part.
All right, so let me just say that line again. But the difference between WWE and AEW is Roman Reigns. So due to Roman Reigns, the WWE is still going to make a profit over the last 2 quarters with the Mattel line. And this is because sales of Roman Reigns Series 88, and Cav will post a figure of that figure on his Patreon, is impossible to get worldwide. See, I learned how to promote. Even though I do have a Patreon that makes almost $8,000. But
that betting will do it.
Yeah, there's a figure, like you can look it up, but Roman Reigns Series 88 single-handedly became the biggest selling Mattel figure of all time for the WWE. So with that Series 88 figure, it was back ordered several times, in the end delivering as close to 250,000 units. So if everything out there does sell, they're going to end up making $17 million, 250,000 in revenue with that figure alone. So that's 17.25 million on that figure alone. That means that Roman Reigns, through the sales of that figure, would make $1.38 $1,380,000 alone in his pocket with his 8% merchandise rev. And the average that's worked out with the average retail price of $23 per figure. So that's the big difference between WWE and AEW, because their biggest figure is set to be the CM Punk figure, and they're looking to make just shy of $2 million from that to pull them out of the hole. Whereas WWE are already well out of the hole because they have a record-breaking figure that has pulled in, or will eventually pull in, $17 million for them.
How much do you say it's worth, that one? Series 88?
It's only $23 to buy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was a rare.
But you'll see it marked up much higher than that.
Well, on eBay right now, it's 26. Somebody has it, and I buy it now too.
That's the one.
That's the 88. Yeah. So
that's
for
the one. It's
$26.
It's really hard to get.
Yeah, you can get it for $26. Go sell it for $50.
And that figure also is being re-released as a top line figure. Mm-hmm. So top tier. So what that means is that they re-release certain figures. So if they do really well or they're really popular, they re-release them. Mm-hmm. So they re-release that figure in a different box. It's called Top Picks, and they re-released it towards the end of the year. I wish I had a photo of my one signed by Roman, but I don't have it on me right now. It's unfortunate. So yeah, that's a fundamental difference. Why don't I have that? I'll show you what the re-release comes like. It comes in a different looking box. Like Cav just showed you the other one, and the re-release. Austin's holding it here. So sorry, see that? Can you?
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. Okay.
Shitty signature, isn't it? It's like basic.
Yeah, he does the double R on there. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I saw that the other day. I was like, all right, it's a scribbled double R and then scribble.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the differences there between AEW and WWE really. So we're kind of staying on merchandise a little bit, I guess. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton had their breakup scrapped recently for the 7th time.
I was going to say, how many times now? Yeah.
So it was supposed to happen after the Usos unified the tag titles. Now, Dave Meltzer is putting a story out there again. Man, this dude, in a week that I don't have stories or it's quiet, I get enough shit from this guy just to turn around and say he ain't right. Mm-hmm. Like, he can just keep being wrong, and him being wrong gives me content.
Feeds you material,
that's how it ends up working out. So he's wrong about this. It was supposed to actually be unified, but the reason it's not, and it could still happen next month, and people might wonder, why scrap it for one more month? Well, the answer is, by keeping them together another month, RK Bro are the second biggest merchandise sellers in the company. They're now pushing Roman in T-shirt sales for first. They finished 4th at WrestleMania Access, and this Access was a record breaker across Mania weekend for merchandise. It was the most merchandise they've ever sold. And me and Cav have been to loads of Manias, so that's telling you something. Now, they finished 4th at Mania. The number one selling T-shirt at Mania is always the WrestleMania event T-shirt. Now, this is a cheat because every T-shirt, and this includes the individual T-shirt for Roman versus Brock, and the individual T-shirt for Charlotte versus Ronda, and the event T-shirt and everything, all gets congregated together as event T-shirt. So Roman doesn't get the royalties for Roman versus Brock, or Brock doesn't get the royalties for Brock versus Roman. They get the royalties on their own T-shirt. So the WrestleMania T-shirts are always number one, and that doesn't change this year. But behind them, number 2 was Austin, number 3 was Roman, and number 4 was RK Bro. Now, Austin and the WrestleMania T-shirt obviously dropped down. WrestleMania merch drops down. RK Bro coming to number 2. One more month of RK Bro T-shirts is a minimum revenue of $1 million. And that's only at them selling 10,000 T-shirts. Last month, their merchandise sold just under 100,000 T-shirts. Like it was at about, it was just over 98,000 T-shirts that they did, which generated a revenue of $2.5 million in a single month on their merch. So if you're wondering, why keep them together? There's 2.5 million reasons why you don't do this match at the pay-per-view and you change it to something else. So we'll talk about the pay-per-view in a minute, and we'll start with that match and do our predictions. We'll finish off with the news. This is not going to be a surprise to anybody. Nikita Lyons is a big star in their eyes who they're looking to build a future around. Social media numbers around her and Mandy Rose are only behind Becky, Sasha, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte, and they are above Bianca Belair. So that's incredible for NXT talent. Both are likely to be heavily protected now, all the way until they go onto the main roster and get pushed when they're there. So
you don't think Nikita will beat Mandy to get Mandy back to the main roster, and then she'll just be okay.
Yeah, I do. I think that will be the sequence. But after that, like obviously they'll both be there, and there's long-term plans for them both. So I wouldn't say they're transitioning out of the horsewomen, but the reliance on them isn't going to be there.
How annoying is the gimmick for that Asian chick? Where she's, I don't know, what is she, a kid or something? What's the, because I don't even barely watch NXT anymore. Since the whole change deal, it's really gotten to me. But I'll watch the takeovers. But I've seen the highlights I see on, Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, this girl's always looking like she's at a sleepover or something. What's the gimmick here? Is this just her gimmick that she's a child?
Yeah, she's a child who likes to go to sleep, I think.
Like, do they explain that what she's doing all the time? Do they explain why she's acting like a child, or like is she Peter Pan or something and she doesn't, she's using super soakers, which I saw that clip where she super soaked someone, they were falling down from it, and I'm like, oh man, it's painful.
No, I actually do watch the show, and there is no explanation behind it. So yeah, that's just where we're at.
And now she pranked her and turned her tan up so she was red.
Well, I enjoyed that side of things because they got the girls on the beach and Gigi's with how do you feel about her now? You changed.
Gigi? No. I still think it's a magic of camera, and you could tell that it's the magic of camera when you see those professional photos compared to when you see her normally, and she looks like a heroin addict.
But you saw her at the beach. She didn't look like a heroin addict at the beach, did she?
She's got this sleepy, deadly face. The tired looking with the black eye makeup. It's just not for me. Man,
you don't relate. See, you can't relate. You don't sleep with enough drunk women. So
I don't need to drug up my friend. Billy with his bag of roofies on his side. So let's get into the pay-per-view and do some of our predictions, which I'm never good at, which is funny because I've been watching since I was 7 or whatever. And it's real interesting. I texted this to you when I said, everyone gets a treat. I'm not going to be on the show for a couple weeks after, like next week. So rejoice, everybody out there. They get a special guest, which I won't say who.
Do you know who? Because I don't.
I would assume I know who.
I haven't organized anyone yet.
Yeah,
so.
But I think the one would say yes. I don't know why. I can't say why they would say no.
Yeah. Well, I have actually got a guest on your last show, Nick, but so I'm doing an interview next week with somebody, and I'm putting it on this show. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be edited in. You don't have to do it. I don't think it's an interview that you want to do. Okay. So I have to read a book to do this interview. So I want, before I promote it, I want to make sure that we're going ahead. So yeah.
Does it have to do with a wrestling person?
No.
Oh, what sport?
What sport?
No sport?
Korukai.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. So the Wrestling Informer will have a Cobra Kai special on here. You'll hear everybody. 30 minutes, the show starts.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. That's fucking stupid because, like, I think I was talking to the person, and I said to them that I think there is a correlation between wrestling fans and Rocky fans and Karate Kid fans, and I think that everything like sticks together, in my opinion.
Tell Ralph Macchio I said hi. So let's talk about.
It's not Ralph Macchio. So
that's how you promote Billy. Come on.
Let's do that. Yeah, like false promoting, like WWE, like subject to change.
Yeah, just forget it. Just never mention it again, like they do. They just ignore things.
We actually have Owen Hart coming on in 2 weeks, but it's subject to change. He's going to be talking about the tournament that he's hosting.
Are you bringing the shovels and flashlight, or am I?
What do you think about these dickheads doing a tournament about somebody that never wrestled? It's like fucking.
It is interesting.
Imagine the Bears were doing a tribute to like Brett Favre. You know,
they're doing a Tom Brady day.
Tom Brady day at fucking Lambeau Field.
It's almost like, it's like the NFL doing a tribute to a guy from, Michael Jordan. It's just not fair. I'm like, what does he have to do with this? And it's funny because they got to show the pictures of him when he wasn't signed. So he's like wearing a totally different outfit. And it was like before he was anybody. And it's like, oh my God. I can't believe you're actually
like not taking their side for once, because that's what you usually do.
Listen, I appreciate that there is a choice. That is my big thing. I go, thank God. I don't agree with all this booking and this and that, but from what the hell we are fed every week, which is, it's too long for one. I think that is the main issue. If the thing was 2 hours, it wouldn't be as horrific. 3 is painful. It's too painful. They have to spread things thin. If you watch it with a fast forward button, a lot easier, because they show you things that happened prior in the show all night. You can get rid of that stuff. You can cut out practically an hour. Did you hear, I wanted to get your opinion on it. Did you hear the Cody interview on After the Bell?
I didn't, but we'll talk about it next week, because we'll probably need to fill next week. And this week,
there was only one thing I cared about that he said, which made me root beyond belief.
You stupid fucking. I know what it is. Don't even say it.
Yeah.
I know you.
It's behind you. Yes.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I knew that's what it's going to be.
It means, and people could say what they want. That belt to me means so much when it comes to the
stupid,
business.
Like, you fucking think that because he said it, he gets to do it. Like, he doesn't get to do that.
Well, he pushed the other one. They finally listened. He said that he had to twist their arm to death to get the Intercontinental, right? And then they realized in the long run he was right, which pisses me off more, because I'm like, they fight and fight and fight and then go, oh, yeah, I guess that was good. And it's like,
yeah, but that's
why wouldn't they have just switched them all?
That's the Intercontinental. Like, this is to do with brand awareness and
that's
things
the
like
problem.
that.
That has to stay with the damn W on the belt, you know?
Well, they might whack. The best they'll do is they'll whack a W down the center of an eagle. Like, I've seen a design like that before. So
I mean, even I started saying, I go, maybe he should become tag team champions too, to bring back those belts, because I can't change. I'm a purist with this. I like those old belts. You have the winged, you have that IC, and you had the old Demolition Heart Foundation, tag titles. I don't know why they have to do what they're. I mean, the tag titles aren't even a branding thing, because they look like hell with Trojan helmets on. It's like, what is this? So I don't know. That it is stupid, and I know it's stupid that it feels like it's more important if it was those belts. They just, because probably when we've seen those belts, they were important. And since they've gone away, the product has dropped. Not a correlation with it, obviously, but when you see that, that's what your mind thinks, is just, it's not as important, because it was a garbage time. Remember that horrible IC belt they replaced it with? I was like, I didn't even care about the title anymore.
But I think the Universal title is the most important belt in wrestling right now. So,
right now, because of the man who holds it, yes. And of all the ones they've had, obviously, I think this is the better looking of the belts, even though it's that giant, WW on it. But I get it. It's the branding. It's, you just want people to know your name's on there. But everybody who knows any wrestling, it's all they refer to as WWF. So they say that, and on regular talk shows they would, if they do wrestling, like you saw where they mentioned Disco Inferno, and who else did they say on that show? They said first somebody else.
Buff
Bagwell. See, it's like the old school stuff, and everybody always just says, didn't they say, like, there was an AEW guy, and they said, oh, it was a WWE wrestler or something when he was in a crowd somewhere, because that's all people know. You don't need to even show them a logo. If you hear wrestling, you think it's that. So, I don't know.
So,
my opinion.
So what we're going to do at this point, because I'm on a really tight time scale today because I have to go and do the K100 show. If you guys want to hear a WrestleMania, this show was called WrestleMania Backlash preview, and we'll change that. I'll get Hughes to change it. So what we're going to do is me and Cav are going to do that preview and put it on the Dirty Sheets feed. It's going to be 20-minute preview, and what we'll do, as we're going to make it twice the amount, we're going to do 10 minutes here. We'll do 20 minutes instead. We'll add the betting lines as well, because they'll all be out by tomorrow. Only got 4 matches at the moment so far, because SmackDown's about to start. Starts in about an hour, but we'll have full betting lines tomorrow. You got 20 minutes tomorrow?
Yeah, I could get you 20 somewhere.
Yeah, so 20-minute show over on the Dirty Sheets podcast, and that will be your WrestleMania Backlash preview, because I got Conan texting me now. First I have Joe, and that's when it's like, oh, you ready? It's like, no, this is the system they have. It's like Joe first, and it's like, oh, you ready? And I'm like, yeah, like 10 minutes. And then you get Conan. It's like, dude, you coming on?
Oh, after he's the one who's late, right?
Conan's the guy, like, he will be late, like, but he'll tell you he's going to be late, but it won't be like, I'm going to be 10 minutes. Like, Conan will be like, there's a time, and I'm changing the time. You'll get notice, but it'll be like, hey, well, I can't do it that time. Let's do it in 4 hours.
Jesus.
Like, today was just like, well, let's do it like an hour later than we planned or whatever. But yeah, that time is now. So we're going to sign off. You can catch me on Twitter for wrestling stuff at K100 Informer. At the moment, the tag there is lockbetting.com, because now's the best time to sign up. I have 107 months of profit, going for 108. If I get to 108, that means I've had 9 years without a single losing month. You can check out my spreadsheets over at lockbetting.com, or you can go to the Twitter account at lockbetting.com, so lockbetting.com without the dot, and you can see the spreadsheet for the previous month. There's little tags underneath those spreadsheets. They say things like tennis, NBA, soccer. One of them says P&L. Click that, and you'll see all of the other previous P&Ls. You'll see all of the members' comments verifying the fact that I've delivered this profit. This is a big month for the NBA playoffs. We're coming to the end of the soccer season as well. Domestic, Champions League, Europa Conference League. We're making money in tennis. We have loads of fights this weekend, loads of combat sports. We have a UFC card, and we have Canelo Alvarez fighting as well. So there's no better time to sign up than this weekend over at lockbetting.com. Cav, your plugs?
Yeah, go to belowthecollar.com and type in Lingus Mafia, and you will see my brand new T-shirt that is out there for sale. My original fantastic T-shirt that Billy's going to order. I know. And just go.
I wish you sent me that, because when I had my picture with Roman, I could have been wearing that.
Well, I haven't gotten mine yet. It was just released. It was just released a week ago.
But if you thought about it quicker.
It was them that was the problem. We sent it way earlier, and there was one hiccup in how they posted.
You're too focused on this wedding and moving like house. Like,
I need to get my priorities straight.
Right.
And anywhere you go for podcasts, just type in Lingus Mafia Podcast, and all my plugs will be on there, where you can get wrestling shows along with just us BSing every week. I've done it since 3/18/14 was the debut, and we have not missed a week. Like Billy's betting package, we go forever. So for Mr. Billy Body, I'm Cav Manning. We'll see you next week. Later.
Do you still put extra at the end?
Like, as in what?
Is our podcast done now as well?
This is still going, but just until we say goodbye, and then I'll turn it off, unless you want me to turn it off now.
Yeah. See, like, now the third person. Disco.
You ready? All right. So your mission is to say, wherever you get your podcasts, type in Lingus Mafia Podcast and say, I'm forced to say this because I need a Bret Hart signed turnbuckle. So for 4 weeks, I need to say, go to your local podcast and type in Lingus Mafia Podcast. That's all. This box is still sitting next to me since it's been returned. Right here.
Yeah,
still in its original damn box.
So he's agreed to take that box, right?
He hadn't agreed to anything. He's taking the box. He could just take the turnbuckle and stuff it in a bag.
What about the picture and the boot?
You need to pay for the picture and the boot, and I could give them to him at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'll do that, but like, I just need to know how it's getting to me, because
it can go in this box too. I mean, unless you want that shipped. I don't know. You don't trust Umar to put it in his bag? I don't know.
No, I don't want that picture in a bag. Like, what kind of case is it in? Like now people are going to hear what fucking like paranoid, like the collector I am.
It's just in a cellophane thing. I mean, what it would go in is like a FedEx envelope that's like you would put two cardboards, right?
You're not got one of those hard cases for signed photos.
No. I mean, it would go in between two pieces of cardboard and then stuffed in the thing. It's not going to, I mean, you write photos, so it's not going to get crinkled or anything.
Yeah, but unless he's holding it, like it will get bent.
I mean, does he have a backpack? You slide it in the backpack.
You can't do that. It will get bent.
But I mean, it could get mailed. That's what I'm saying. I shove it in the FedEx, whatever you want to do. But I mean, if he has this, it fits in this completely flat because this is the way it is here. You know what? I never opened it once I got it back. It's still sealed. I have never touched it since I got it back. But it's just a flat box. It would be the size of this underneath the turnbuckle.
I tell you what, how much is it for you to get like a cheap frame?
Yeah, $25 maybe. Like
$25 for an A4 frame. Like you can get it for like $3.
Maybe. I don't know. I go to Michael's. I get like a picture frame, right?
Yeah, no, I don't want a proper one because I want to frame it myself. But
I'd be worried it's going to break. The glass will break, right? Stab the picture.
Yeah, no, that won't happen. Because you can get like that cheap glass that doesn't break.
Yeah, like a plexiglass.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll do it myself. Tell me the size of the photo. I'll go to eBay.
It's 8x10.
I'll send you it's 8x10. I'll send you a link for your side. Okay. Buy it. I'll send that extra money. Frame it, and then he can put that frame in the box, and that frame won't break in the box because it's all padded by turnbuckle.
That's true. It'll be in the box with turnbuckle.
Is there a certificate too?
Yeah, I showed you the certificate came with the Hollywood, whatever the fuck it was called.
All right.
And
fucking hell! So I should have bought my fucking Aaron Rodgers helmet this week while he could get it back for me.
Oh well, he's not gone.
No, I know, but I haven't bought it. Still needs to get to you and everything. So.
Oh.
All right. Do you know I'm going to get to see Rodgers play in England?
Yeah, I saw that he was going to be over there. Who the hell are they playing?
I'm going to try and get into his hotel as well.
Good luck. He'll probably invite you in if he thinks you're a gay guy.
That's true. I might have to
it's going to be a very relaxing season for me again because the Bears are in rebuild, so I don't have to think, oh, I hope they win. I'm like, it's good. They're gonna have top 5 pick. That's what's going to happen this year. My prediction already is 6 wins, and the over/under is 6.5. I'm like, oh shit. So very easy schedule though, but there's nobody on the team. That's the problem. I can't wait for.
All right, let me go do.
All right, everybody. We'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow with our rundown. Later.